Should I do one of those intros that everyone else does, like before their intro video? Welcome back to my channel and my week 7 weigh-in and recap. If you like the sound of that, stay tuned. I've never really understood why people do that. Like, hey, this is what the video's about if you didn't know from the title already. And I'm gonna tell you so that you have 3 seconds to decide that this isn't what you want to do. Anyway, like I said, this is my week 7 weigh-in and recap. So first and foremost, I want to say forget week 7. Let's talk about the fact that I'm on week 8 right now. I'm in the home stretch. My surgery is less than 1 week away. This time next week, I will probably be sitting in a hospital bed recovering. That is so exciting and so terrifying at the same time. This last week, I have really started noticing those feelings and those thoughts of like, hey, so like this is a real thing that you're doing. Are you sure you want to do that? I still feel really confident in my decision, but I think you would have to be crazy to not have any moments where you're like, do I really want to do like an actual surgery? Do I really want to do something permanent to myself? So this last week, I have really, really noticed that I don't really want to call it anxiety, but my thoughts revolving around surgery and just getting nervous about it have really increased, and rightfully so. I mean, it's Tuesday. Next Tuesday is my surgery. If I'm lucky, it'll be in the morning. And I have tomorrow to get through a day of work, Thanksgiving off. I'm probably stuck working on Black Friday. I just have a lot to do before I leave for surgery. And then Saturday and Sunday to prepare because we fly out on Monday. And that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'll be doing my pre-op next Monday, all my tests, all the things that I have to do to prepare for surgery. I'll be on my clear liquid diet. I mean, so much is going to happen in less than a week. It's just crazy to think about. But okay, let's apply the brakes. Let's hold on and let's back up to actually recapping on week 7. So I'm going to throw my stats right up here like usual. When I started the pre-op, I was 374 pounds. Last week, I weighed in at 350.6. And today, I weighed in at 346.4. So that is a 4.2 pound loss in the week. And that gives me a total of 27.6 pounds lost so far on my 7 weeks of the pre-op diet. First and foremost, can I just say how incredibly close to my 30-pound arbitrary goal I am? If I can lose 2.4 pounds in the next week, then I'll have lost 30 pounds on the pre-op diet, which was kind of like my far-reaching, wouldn't it be great goal? And it's like actually in sight. You know, of course, the pre-op diet is multifaceted. It has a lot of different purposes, one of which is internal, and it's literally preparing your body and your organs for surgery so that things are a little bit easier. But one of the purposes and byproducts of that is weight loss before surgery. It's been a lot for me. I've been paying a lot of attention. I've been really scrutinizing everything I'm eating, trying to decide if I ate too much fat, not enough fat, were my carbs too high? Oh, but you know, they were all from vegetables, so that's good carbs. It's been driving me nuts. It's the way that I get. It's kind of the way I am, but it's been driving me nuts. I've just been scrutinizing everything because I want to get it right. And not only do I want to get it right, but I really wanted to maximize my weight loss before surgery. Statistics show that the more weight you can lose before surgery, the easier the surgery is, the easier the recovery is. Everything is just easier. Losing 5 or 10% of your body weight is like ideal for pre-op. And so I was just like, can I do 30 pounds? Can I get that much loss and also drop my BMI? And that's something that I've mentioned before. If I could get my BMI under 60, then I would get a bit of a refund for surgery. The reason for that is that people with a BMI of 60 or higher do get charged a little bit more because you're heavier. The surgery will inevitably take a little bit longer and it will be a little bit more difficult the heavier you are. It's just a fact. So all of these things culminated into this one goal. Can I lose enough weight to be successful after surgery, to have my BMI drop, and to feel good, like I accomplished something and followed the rules? Even if I don't quite meet that 30-pound goal, I am happy to say that I did calculate my BMI today and I have reached 59.5. I can't tell you how ecstatic I was when I saw that this morning. That being said, I cannot gain anything from now until next Monday when they do my pre-op, they do my weight and my blood work and all of that information. That shouldn't be a problem because I haven't had a problem with gaining, but I do have a flight to take and some things where, the last thing I want is to sort of swell up and hold on to some water weight and then all of a sudden, my hard work, right? I also have to keep in mind that I do weigh naked. So when I weigh in Tijuana, I have to not only hope that their scales are friendly to me because all scales are different, but also take into consideration that I will be wearing clothes. I will be wearing very light and stretchy clothes, like just leggings and a t-shirt. So, it shouldn't add too much bulk to everything, but it is something to consider. So the more weight I can lose in the next week, it would give me a little bit of a buffer and confidence that maybe I really will weigh in at that about weight on Monday. Worst case scenario, let's just say I don't quite make it based off of the scales and everything going on in Tijuana. I know I made it, and that's all that matters. So that's just put me in a pretty good mood all day, just knowing that I did that. I was able to bring my BMI down and that I followed things the best that I could. Did I have some extra fat when maybe I shouldn't have or didn't need to? Did I have some extra carbs sometimes? Sure, but I stayed away from all the main staples. I wasn't having any dairy. I wasn't having any refined carbs at all. I was trying to keep my portions of lean proteins no more than 14 ounces in a day. I was really trying to be careful, and I really feel like I was successful with that. Perhaps this is more beneficial for a video next week recapping the entire pre-op process, but I think it's gonna have to be filmed after my surgery because I just don't think I'm gonna have any time the weekend before I leave. But what I will say is that this pre-op diet has really, really helped me get in the right mindset for future success. I know now that I can cut out carbs and sugar and things that I thought were going to be so difficult for me. There's no way that I could eat no refined carbs. There's no way I could stop eating sugar entirely. Okay, to be fair, I haven't stopped eating sugar entirely. Things have sugar in it, but my sugar intake is like 10, 15 grams a day. It's so different than what I was doing before. And I know that I can do it. And not only do I know I can do it, I know I can thrive on it. I have not had too many complaints during this time. Honestly, I am really, dare I say it, enjoying the pre-op. It's made me really creative and come up with new ideas. And it really, really has made me emphasize bigger portions of vegetables, focusing on protein and fiber and nutrients and feeding my body over just things that I want to eat or sound good. And that is going to put me in such a good headspace for surgery next week. One thing that I do feel like needs to be addressed in this video is that week 7 is when I really noticed my mood change, particularly feeling really, really sad. Now, I am going to say that there's a lot going on in my life right now. There's a lot to contribute to stress. And so it's not most likely completely related simply to weight loss, simply to this process. It's not all that, but I can say pretty much without a doubt that my experiences with everything going on with this pre-op and prepping for surgery and losing weight has made my emotions so different than before. So things that would normally have probably upset me, I noticed this week made me sad. And that's how I know that it's not just my stresses adding up and that it really does have to do with this process. Not only have I heard from so many people that depression during this whole process is fairly common, but I have a tendency to get angry and snappy when I'm upset. That's how I unfortunately express that. This week, though, I got sad. There was crying. There was sadness. There was feeling really, really down. And that's not something that I experience very often. I do also want to say, though, that it has not been a gloom and a rain cloud over me the entire time. My emotions definitely seem to be going like this, because yesterday I didn't have a very good day at all. And today I felt perfect and happy and totally fine and ready to take on the world. And it's just like night and day. So no, I'm not feeling, super awful continuously all the time. But it is something that is creeping in and I'm noticing. And so, this is one good reason why I did bring this up with my boyfriend before I started this process. And I said, hey, here are the statistics about, relationships after people go through weight loss surgery. And here's the information about people getting kind of snippy or kind of sad and hard to deal with sometimes during this process. And we're going to have to be on the same page. And so all I can hope is that the people close to me understand that I'm going through a big process and that this is not abnormal. And if I might lash out or even just, be more emotional than normal, it will not only fade pretty quickly, but it is part of the process and not to take it personally. I have a lot to do on week 8. There's a lot happening right before surgery and right after surgery. So I've got to prepare for that. I've got to deal with that. I'm just taking it a day at a time and doing the best that I can because I just can't be stressed. I can't be bothered right now. I just can't. I've got too much to do. So typically I try to get my videos out on Wednesdays and Fridays, but next week is going to be a little bit weird because I am prepping for surgery and I probably won't have enough time to edit all of the videos and get them up. So I'm going to try to at least to get my week 8 food done. I'll probably get out that video so you guys can see what I ate for my last week, which I am trying to keep it really simple for the last week just because it is the final push before surgery and I don't want to have a whole bunch of coconut oil in my system if I don't have to. But in terms of a week 8 recap and weigh-in, I just don't see that happening because I'm going to be in Mexico. So you can expect a couple videos. I am going to have those backlogged and release just about some of the other things I've been doing on pre-op. But when it comes to the surgery and my experience and everything, it's just going to have to wait until after the first week in December. I promise that I'm going to record everything I can. I am clearing out my phone, I'm clearing out my SD card, and I am planning on filming everything I can. One of the things that I've noticed is that right after surgery, people have a tendency not to film what they're going through because they feel tired and cruddy. They just got done with surgery. But I want to show what I feel like after surgery. I want to show what my experience is like, especially because I have to spend 3 days in the hospital. And I just want to put it out there, my entire open experience about what's going on. So you can probably expect either one long video or most likely a series of videos just going over what happened while I was in Mexico and what the experience was like. Thanks so much for watching, and now that I'm into the good stuff, you should probably stick around because this is the part that I'm like, okay, where do we go from here? Can I diet? Yes, I know how to diet. I knew that pre-op wasn't going to be the worst thing in the world. I can diet. But what is it going to be like going through surgery in another country? And what is it going to be like healing after that? Because all I have is going off of what people have said and the other YouTube videos that I've watched. And people seem to have varying experiences and varying degrees of healing. And so I'm just really curious what this is going to be like and what it feels like and how it's going to change everything forever. So stay tuned. I'm going to get out as much information as I can, and I hope you enjoy the ride because it's going to get a little bit crazy from here, I'm sure.